Malachi Kelly, clicksandcash.com, marketing on the go.
Hi, and welcome to the Marketing on the Go podcast hosted by me, Malachi Kelly from clicksandcash.com. I'd like to thank my sponsor, HostGator.com. HostGator is the simplest hosting provider online today. If you're looking for an easy-to-use hosting platform that can get your website idea up and running now, then HostGator.com is the right company for you. All listeners to the Marketing on the Go podcast can get their first month's hosting for only 1 cent. Just use ClickSendCash in the coupon box when selecting the baby package. In today's episode, I want to talk about the importance of a mentor and why you increase your chances of becoming a successful online marketer with a professional to point you in the right direction. As I said in the last episode, I knew I was destined to something greater. God had a different plan for me. I just didn't know what direction to go in. After working for Link Financial for just over 1.5 years, I had just cancelled my GDI account and decided that becoming an entrepreneur just wasn't for me. The people around me, my friends, and my family were right. It was just a pipe dream that wouldn't happen, and I should stop wasting my money and spending my time learning all this stuff that just wasn't getting me anywhere. I decided to focus on my day job and look for a way to increase my income the traditional way. Although my job as a debt collector wasn't the best job in the world, I was actually very good at it. We had a monthly target of £80,000 per month, which we had to collect. In the whole time I was there, I only missed the target twice. There was also an added bonus of a slap-up meal for the team which collected the most money in a month. The great thing about our team was I was surrounded by people who wanted to succeed, and we shared things that worked to persuade debtors to pay up. Subsequently, we won the team meal 8 times in a row when I worked there. We won the lunch so many times that our team was investigated for cheating. Of course they didn't find anything, as we were doing everything above board and legal. The important thing to remember here is team, and how being part of a team helps all of us to be more successful. Although winning team meals was a great incentive to perform well in my job, I still wanted more. I was collecting on average over £80,000 per month and just getting my basic salary at the end of each month. I was then introduced to the possibility of turning my hand at telesales. It wasn't very different to what I was doing at Link Financial, but instead of speaking with people who owed money, I'd be persuading businesses or consumers to buy a particular product or service. I started doing some research and quickly realized that I had to find a job that sold a product, business to business, or B2B for short, as I didn't want to be calling people that didn't need the product or service I was selling. More importantly, I wanted to make sure that I got great commissions for selling the product or service. I found a company called Seek.net who produced a small guide called the Internet Shopper's Guide 2 series. This series was broken down into sections like the Internet Shopper's Guide to Parents, the Internet Shopper's Guide to Going Green, the Internet Shopper's Guide to Christmas. These guides would sit next to someone's computer, and when they wanted to buy something, say for example for their baby, they would pick up the Internet Shopper's Guide to Parents and flick to the section which best fits their needs and go directly to the sites in the guide to make a purchase. I know how ludicrous that sounds now, as you could just Google the keyword and be presented with a list of websites that sell that product. Although Google had only been going for a few years, and the sites that dominated the SERPs were directories and article sites, so it would take on average 3 clicks to get to the information that you were looking for before you would land on a page that didn't even take credit card or the site was just poorly put together. My job was to get businesses that were already advertising in magazines or on Google AdWords, then sell them into the benefits of appearing in the guide. Simple. Actually, it was quite easy. I was so surprised that it was so easy. Imagine if you owned an organic napping company. As you can imagine, a very small niche market. However, we have 2 perfect guides that this company will fit into. In the nappy section of the Parents Guide and the House and Home section in the Going Green Guide. I would first establish who the owner of the business was, or at very least the decision maker. I'd have a few conversations about the popularity of the guide and that it will be a perfect fit to their market. The main USP was the placement of the guides in WH Smith's, right in front of the point of sale, a cash register or till. If you're not from the UK, a similar store in the US would be a cross between Barnes & Noble and Best Buy. I then send over the rate card and negotiate a discount to get them involved. It was a great gig for a few years, But it didn't last. Print advertising was on its last legs, and Google AdWords was the front runner to take its place. As time passed, it got increasingly harder to sell advertising space in the guide. We kept hearing the same objections. Either they wanted something that was online, or more interestingly, they had spent all their budget on pay-per-click. For anyone that doesn't know, pay-per-click or PPC is the way that Google generates 97% of its total revenue through a program called AdWords. Google made a whopping $50 billion in 2012. That's $48.5 billion with AdWords alone. That's when I had my first aha moment. I needed to go and sell AdWords. I knew a little how it worked, kinda. At least I had telesales experience as well. I went for an interview at a company called LogicServe. I had my raft of questions ready, so I started with a simple one. I'd be so surprised by the answer that I didn't ask any more questions. The first and only question went like this: how many staff work for LogicServe? Rohit replied, just 1 here in the UK and 3 in India. I thought, what the hell? I had a gut feeling that selling AdWords was where I needed to be. If Rohit was willing to take a chance on me, I was ready to take a chance on him. I started the following Monday, banging out relentless calls to AdWords advertisers, letting them know that we could do a better job. And in return, we would save them more money than our fee to manage their campaign. 3 weeks passed with no sale. Rohit was starting to question my ability, but he was preoccupied with something much, much bigger. Overnight, well, I assume it took months, but to me it seemed like overnight, Rohit came into the office and announced that he had just bought a PPC company with 25 employees and we were moving offices in 2 days. The move went ahead and I now was in the company of like-minded salespeople all selling the same product. I can't express how important this move was, but not for the reasons you're thinking. Yet I did get to learn from the people who had experience and was already making consistent sales on a daily basis. I soaked up the way they said things to their prospects like a sponge, then applied my version on my next call. Rand Dyer said, we're going to have to work a little bit harder on building relationships. People won't give you their money until they first give you their time. That was so true. I didn't start making consistent sales until I understood the power of building relationships. It soon became an art, a script that would entice the listener to allow us 30 days to show them what we could do. Then the PPC experts would do their magic. If they stayed, then Rohit's business would grow, and I would get a commission on the first payment. If they left, then I would still get a commission on the first payment, which was a win-win for me. Even though the information I was learning was priceless and making good money doing it, Broadplace showed me the way to sell and sell well. You should never be afraid of trying to make the sell, because if you don't go for the sell, it might just go away. Then if you go for the sell and lose it, you've lost nothing. But without sales, you won't make any money online. The most influential moment of my life happened when I met my now good friend Mark Sams, who also came to Broadplace to go for the sale. He was just like me in so many ways, but a few years ahead of me in his online business development. Remember, I'd quit. I'd given up and called it a day. But after I saw someone else working his home-based business and making an income from it, I was invigorated to start my business again. In this marketing game, this home-based business world, 99% of the time you're working alone, tirelessly working away into the wee hours of the night, trying to figure things out and make this business work for you. I was different. I had a buddy that I could bounce ideas off, test different marketing concepts, and most importantly, get feedback from. The only problem with Mark was that he was only a few paces ahead of me. He couldn't give me the direction that I needed. That only came when I got myself a mentor, someone that had been where I'd been, someone that had gone through challenges and been through them and many more. A mentor can give you a shortcut in the time it takes to figure things out, answer any questions that you might have, and move you on to greatness that you know you deserve. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a theme running through this entire podcast. When I was at Link Financial, it was a team of people that made me succeed, and again at Broadplace. Until you're a part of a team with a leader or mentor sailing the ship in the right direction, you'll struggle online. My mentor revealed to me that the quickest way to make money is to teach other people how to be successful online, then in turn, that would be returned tenfold. If you would like to join my team and discover how to kickstart your online business, then just go to clicksendcash.com clickandcash.com/go and fill in the application form to join my mentorship. You'll also get a free traffic generation course for completing the application, even if you don't get selected. We're looking for the right type of person to join our team. You need to be committed and self-driven to succeed. If this sounds like you, then go to clickandcash.com/go now. I'd like to thank my sponsor, HostGator.com, one more time. Don't forget that HostGator is the simplest hosting provider online today. If you're looking for an easy-to-use hosting platform that can get your website idea up and running now, then HostGator.com is the right company for you. All listeners to the Marketing on the Go podcast can get their first month's hosting for only 1 cent. Just use ClickSendCash in the coupon code box when selecting the baby package. I've just finished reading a fabulous book called Start With Why. It was written by a man called Simon Sinek. If you haven't read it yet, here are some of the questions that will be answered in the book. Why are some people and organizations more innovative, more influential, and more profitable than others? Why do some command greater loyalty from customers and employees alike? Even among the successful, why are so few able to repeat their success over and over? People like Martin Luther King Jr., Steve Jobs, and the Wright brothers might have little in common, but they all started with why. If you haven't read this book yet or would like to get an audio version for free, Audible.com have the best book narrations on the planet. Sit back and relax as you let someone else read for you while you perform other tasks. Get your free audiobook from Audible.com by going to clickandcash.com/audible. Until tomorrow. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Also, I can't thank you enough if you would review my podcast series in the iTunes store. Just search for Marketing on the Go. Everyone that gives me a 5-star review will get a shout out in the next show. It will ensure that more people will be able to get hold of this powerful information. I've been Malachi Kelly from clicksendcash.com. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, here we go. Presenting Marketing on the Go by Malachi Kelly. Yeah, let's go. Marketing on the go. So now you know, clicksandcash.com. You need to go make money while you're driving your car or when you're in the gym. Train real hard. Listen to this podcast on your mobile phone, on your iPad too. Come on, let's make dough. Get money, feeling good. Learn Malachi's marketing tips. Yeah, let's get it. Turn the volume up and always tune in. Check out the techniques you need to win. Secrets revealed about making money on this weekly show. Don't miss, don't be a dummy. Interviews from experts, online gurus to help you do what you need to do. You want to start your online business today? Listening to this podcast is the quickest way. Yeah, so now you know that's right. You need to go right now. Malachi Kelly. clicksandcash.com. Marketing on the go.